Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session, Innovative Business Solutions Through Workflow Automation, produced by Government Technology in cooperation with CA Technologies. My name is Mary Lou Prevost, Vice President of State and Local Government Vertical for CA Technologies, and I'll be your host and moderator. I'd like to share just a few announcements before we begin. This webcast is designed to be interactive, and you can participate in the Q&A with us by asking questions at any time during the presentation. You'll just need to type your question into the Q&A box area at the lower left side of your console and hit submit. If you'd like to download a PDF of the slides for today's presentation, you can do so by clicking the slides widget at the bottom of the console. Also, during today's webinar, you'll be able to connect with your peers via LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. You can use hashtag GTLive to connect to your peers across the government technology platform via Twitter. Lastly, the recorded session from the virtual is available to all registrants within 48 hours. You can use the recorded sessions for your reference, or feel free to pass along to colleagues. At this time, we recommend you disable your pop-up blockers, and if you are experiencing any media player issues, visit the webcast help guide by clicking on the help button at the bottom of your console. All right, now let's move on to our presentation. Today we are thrilled to have Suma as Secretary of Technology and Chief Information Officer for the state of Colorado as our featured speaker. Suma is an accomplished technology leader with progressive experience in establishing and executing value-driven global IT service strategy and delivery. Her extensive experience includes technology-driven innovation for business transformation, healthcare infrastructure operations, and global enterprise business applications. She's a people leader who builds high-performance teams within multicultural, globally distributed workforce through mentoring, coaching, and inspiration. Appointed in June in 2014 as Colorado Secretary of Technology and CIO, she is committed to positioning the Governor's Office of Information Technology as a leader in IT innovation for state government. I have personally seen firsthand Suma's passion for collaboration, breaking through silos, and achieving excellence. She is passionate about innovating everyday solutions for her customers. As AVP Technical Services at Catholic Healthcare Initiatives, Suma led service delivery operations for a complex, multi-state, rapidly growing healthcare IT footprint, leading distributed teams that included data center and network operations, service desk, and end-user computing. Suma also previously worked at Teletech, where she served as the Global Director of Enterprise Applications. She's also the co-founder of a successful consulting firm. Her think like an owner attitude allows her to align a company's vision, mission, value, and culture to the daily lives and activities. She earned a master's degree in nuclear physics, a professional management certification from Mountain States Employers Council, and project management certificate from the Project Management Institute. She has made Colorado her home for the past 17 years, along with her husband and 2 children. She's actively involved with several charities around the health and education area. With that, I would like to introduce Suma and take it away, Suma.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to be here today with you, representing the beautiful state of Colorado, and share with you the ways our state is using technology to deliver services more efficiently, effectively, and elegantly. The Colorado Governor's Office of Information Technology is unique. Since 2008, OIT has been the enterprise provider of IT to executive branch agencies across the state. That means we serve more than 26,000 state employees, 30,000 end-user computing devices, as well as provide IT solutions to address the business needs of the 17 state agencies we support. With consolidation, we inherited the responsibility for more than 1,200 mission and business critical systems across the state, many of them built on older technologies. We worked very hard to modernize our infrastructure and continue to work hard on exciting initiatives that including moving applications to the state's private cloud, eliminating redundant applications, and virtualizing systems when feasible to reduce our footprint. But none of this means anything if you're not providing the services our customers need and value. With the changes that we have made over the years, we realize that we now have the right foundation to look at how we can really streamline our customer service and processes. Today, I want to share with you how we are making a difference in just a couple of different areas. OIT is responsible for maintaining and continually improving the system that determines eligibility for those applying for state medical and financial assistance programs. The back end of the system is called the Colorado Benefits Management System, or CBMS. The front end that is used by Coloradans applying for benefits is called the Program Eligibility Application Kit, or PEAK. This includes applying for Medicaid, which historically could take up to 45 days before an applicant knew whether or not they were eligible. So how did we define the need for the technology and then build it? We knew there were 500,000 uninsured Coloradans who would be seeking coverage in a 3-month window. With healthcare reform and the imminent increase in Medicaid and Child Health Plan Plus (EHP) applications, we needed a solution to provide eligibility determinations and subsequent medical coverage for the state's most vulnerable residents without hiring additional staff. In partnership with the Colorado Department of Human Services and the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing, the departments who provide the assistance, we had a shared goal to reduce the Medicaid eligibility determination times. With passion, commitment, and IT prowess, and after 50,000 hours of coding, 16,000 hours of testing, and teamwork, with our cross-agency partnership, we equipped the system with an innovative solution, real-time eligibility. The cutting-edge technology now provides eligibility results in 45 minutes instead of 45 days, and 80% of those apply for medical assistance through PEAK receive a real eligibility determination, no more waiting. This is not only good for the clients, but is saving the state of Colorado nearly $1 million in operating costs. We are very proud of this accomplishment and the national recognition it is receiving, but the best award for us is the impact on individual lives. I'll just share with you 3 short examples of how our work in this area is helping Coloradans in need. A homeless single mom who was 3 months pregnant got enrolled through Medicaid and had coverage for the length of her pregnancy. This timely and critical health care happened because of our real-time eligibility application. An older gentleman who was a musician hasn't had insurance for years, couldn't afford it. He almost cried when he got enrolled and he could take care of his health care needs that had been ignored for so long. In yet another example, a man was looking for health care coverage for his wife who was in remission. They couldn't get affordable insurance because of pre-existing conditions. They paid premiums equivalent to a house payment. When they were able to get cheaper insurance, that man cried. That was a life-changing event for them. We aren't resting on our laurels. We continue to enhance the application process, improve the overall customer experience, and allow PEAK users to better manage their health benefits. If we can do it, you can too. Just as we work on improving processes so that the services are provided to Coloradans more effectively, efficiently, and elegantly, so are we working to streamline our internal processes. And it always begins with a vision. From an infrastructure and business perspective, we are maturing OIT so that we can offer services to our customers with an integrated and consistent approach that increases efficiencies and improves response time, and one that provides OIT employees with the tools and capabilities to meet customer demand and improve their experience. What would happen if we developed a comprehensive enterprise service management that represents all these interconnected systems and processes within OIT, a system that we can complete will provide a single point of entry and easy customer interface so that they can do business with us with ease. Design a system that leverages best practices and keeps these goals in mind. Will reduce the time to provide routine services. Will transition us from being a very reactive organization to being proactive, thus increasing staff productivity. Will enhance the security, of the state's critical data and assets. OIT staff no longer performs manual repetitive tasks and can focus on customer support, complex projects, performance tuning, process enhancements, etc. It will provide customers with a single point of entry and easy customer interface to do business with us. In other words, create an end-to-end enterprise, one-stop shop solution. In order to build such a system, we definitely need funding. Unlike the private sector, we can't just go out and sell our product and ask the finance team for money. Instead, we must go to the Colorado General Assembly to get the money to create programs like this. A decision item for a comprehensive enterprise service management system called the IT Service Management EcoSystem was submitted and approved in 2014. In addition to the revision of the processes and new tools, we needed to address the challenges that an aging infrastructure continues to cause. As we roll out our new system, the toll on our existing infrastructure increases. We didn't have time to wait. As soon as the funding was received, we got to work. This decision item gave OIT the money to build out the tools required to provide fully functioning processes and data, service desk, asset management, configuration management database. It also gave OIT money to link these systems together into an integrated suite to improve our change management process and our reporting and metrics. The overarching outcome is for OIT to become operationally nimble when delivering a consistent level of service. The ecosystem enables us to standardize service delivery by automating workflows, which in turn allows us to be more nimble when addressing the rapidly changing customers' needs. It will allow OIT to establish a baseline process from where we plan, implement, and measure services provided, accurately track resource assignments, integrate projects with resources and finance, manage assets for the organization and the enterprise, make quick decisions aligned to standards and roadmaps. From a customer perspective, the customer should only see the easy portal and not behind the curtain where the magic happens. We leverage existing products that work for agencies, such as our endpoint management solution, and integrated those with the core of our ecosystem within our state cloud. Workflows, automatic notification of required actions, and ticket management occur within the integrated application suite behind the scenes of the customer service portal. We need to define processes, build databases, interconnect workflows in order to create the ultimate client experience. Define processes. We cannot build a system or automate it without clearly knowing what and how we will operate. This is the OIT operating model. Define business outcomes. What will the business receive from the system, tool, or process? This does not have to be automated. Let's do it manually first, on paper, ensure it's right, and then automate it. Linked systems and integrated data. We want configuration linkages defined and the ability to report on many areas and data points. There are several key projects underway as part of the overall ITSM EcoSystem initiative. Our current areas of focus are focus on service desk, metrics. To help both OIT and the agencies, we must improve our capability to document workflows, manage change, and track our responsiveness. This is the first area of the ecosystem we implemented and the one that impacts OIT employees through new service desk ticket flow, interconnected tools, and reporting capabilities. The next one is the customer service portal. This component provides customers with a self-service option to enter and track their own tickets. But it will be more than that. From here, they will be able to find answers to questions, engage in group discussions, and find other services, among other things. There's a big focus on the onboarding workflow. As the enterprise provider of IT, we equip new employees in the agencies with the IT tools they need to do their job. Our current system does not allow us to enter one ticket that blasts out to all the work groups involved in getting accounts created, computers and phones set up, etc. This component will enable us to document, improve, and build this workflow through one ticket and thus provide a consistent, standardized process and offering to the agencies. This single ticket management through our service desk will provide us with better tracking and metrics. We are currently building this component and will be rolling out to OIT in March 2015. This internal rollout will serve as a pilot for the statewide initiative and workflow automation. And there's a focus on asset lifecycle. This will be a new process for managing hardware and software. And there's a focus on the one-touch portal. Many teams make up OIT, and we are each other's customers. This component will be used by OIT staff to request services from other OIT teams. What are some of the upcoming rollouts? The first one is the rollout of the Customer Service Portal in March 2015 for an improved user interface. We will also be rolling out the Service Catalog. This is a CA component, not the OIT Purchase Catalog. So this Service Catalog will be rolled out in March 2015 to enable new customer offering. Initial workflows and system interfaces will be completed by June 2015, with ongoing work through June 2016 to fully automate statewide onboarding, standard equipment purchases, and enhance asset and software license tracking by customer. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share these two very impactful initiatives with you. I would now like to turn it back to Mary Lou.
Thank you so much, Suma. That was fantastic. You're truly making a difference in the lives of the people of Colorado, and so thank you so much to you and your team for your efforts. Very, very wonderful presentation. With that, I would like to turn it over or remind everyone that you have a Q&A text box on the lower left side of your console. So please go ahead and ask a question and hit submit, and we shall move to the live Q&A. Thank you. Thank you so much, Suma. We also want to introduce Mr. William Chumley from OIT. He is the Chief Customer Officer. He will be joining us for the live Q&A. So with that, we will move to some of the questions that have come in online. First one, sounds like your IT ecosystem will drive significant efficiencies for IT along with better visibility into the cost and consumption of IT services. Do you also see it as a vehicle to establish new revenue streams for OIT?
Hi, this is William Chumley talking. And I think the original intention of the ecosystem was really to provide better customer service delivery and our own visibility into metrics and our own operating model. But I think we've already discovered that by enabling the customer service portal and service catalog functionality, that the workflows will allow us to provide different service offerings to the business, and that there may be those opportunities. We haven't completely thought about it because it wasn't the original intention, but I think it's definitely an area that will be a benefit that we had not originally considered. So we definitely will be exploring those items as we look in the future.
Excellent. How long was the implementation?
The process, as Suma alluded to in her presentation, it's already been over a year's worth of effort in terms of we planned for a year in terms of defining the tools. And really, there's half of the ecosystem is tools and half of the ecosystem is business process reengineering. So we started that ahead of time. Then we had to document and ask for the money. And we received that money 9 months ago, and it's a 2-year initial implementation. And then we foresee ongoing needs to leverage those tools and continue the process reengineering. So we're really at the month 9 of our original rollouts with the consolidation of the core tools and implementing the customer service portal. And then over the next 3 months, we'll be rolling out the reporting systems, our asset management awareness, building out our configuration management database. So we have another 6 to 18 months to meet the original goals, and then we'll be preparing future budget requests and ongoing looks at what we can do in that ecosystem environment. So I think that since it's our core operating model, it's a never-ending scenario.
Yes, it's no small task. What, if any, business transformational providers did you leverage or use to help you gain political consensus?
Thank you for the question. This is Suma Nallapati. To answer the question, it's very important for IT to go to the customers with metrics, with actual facts about any project, right? That's the only way you take the emotion out of a conversation, because there's a history and baggage sometimes with IT and business working together. So when I became the CIO, the first thing we did was establish baseline metrics for each of the important initiatives that we wanted to take on. And we do it with a lot of fact-based dashboards, things like that. And I always wanted IT to be seen as a value add and not just as an order taker. Right? That's a big shift in the conversation on how our customers perceive when we go to them with these transformational ideas, because for them, if it's not an agency-driven project, they don't see the value right away. So we as IT leaders, we need to take it on ourselves to educate and help our agencies understand why some of these foundational projects for IT are very important. And we do that by increasing our credibility with them, right, on basic service excellence. If we do a great job at that, they will listen to us for those transformational projects. So we did a number of projects initially to reduce the single points of failure across the enterprise, things like that, and they see those small incremental changes and improvements, and they come to the table with us when we want to do those great transformational projects. And it's very important to have vendor support because vendors have a lot of resources that the state governments don't have. And they have a lot of research and studies that can help with this conversation. So we rely a lot on our vendors to help with that research and background when we go to a conversation with our agencies. So that's how we were able to provide some great value to the agencies, as well as they were able to come to a place of agreement with these transformational projects. Thank you.
Excellent. Each of the initiatives you've highlighted for us clearly programs that will continue to mature with ongoing capability deployments. Do you have a process to collect user feedback?
We definitely have a process, and William, as the Chief Customer Officer that interfaces with the agencies, he can explain in detail on how that mechanism works.
Thanks, Suma. We have multiple avenues that we use. We have dedicated, we call them IT directors, or as the real business relationship managers, who are sitting with the agencies and monitor ongoing feedback. We also have a client experience team that we leverage quarterly to give us feedback on what's happening currently, but also to show them areas and items, mock-ups of things that are going to come, and get their opinions so that we don't cause problems. And then one thing with Suma's arrival at OIT is we implemented what we call a OneView dashboard, which gives us the highlight information in a standardized way across our 17 state agencies, but also incorporates their specific feedback into what are their major concerns, what are their hot items, so that everyone in OIT can see the specifics that are important by agency, and then we can track that progress monthly. And we really encourage the relationship to be, we don't want those to be pretty dashboards, we want them to be real indicators of what's going on. And then we have other surveys and items that occur based on specific lessons learned and service desk tickets, but those are the main areas that we're focused on to gain customer insights.
What techniques did you use to address organizational change for your staff?
So this is Suma. Organizational change, it's called feelings in my mind. When we come and there's a new leadership team in place, people are initially very skeptical. So I feel that it starts from the very top we, as leaders, need to walk the talk. People are very smart, and they see through, if you're just, if it's lip service or if you're truly meaning what you're talking about. So the projects, the changes, the leadership, all has to be genuine. There's no other way around it. So the organizational change, again, it can be a big bang of everything. It has to be incremental. You need to give time to people to understand the change, digest it, ask questions, and then there's going to be more. They're going to be more receptive to that change. So for me, me being there, answering all the tough questions when my employees ask those questions, or my customers when we implement a new project, being there, being prepared, being genuine, and if there's deficiencies, accepting them at the very beginning and being truthful about it is very, very important. So those are some of the things that has helped me with a change management perspective.
Okay. What specific CA or other technology product modules did you employ for your service desk and identity and config automation?
Hi, this is William. We had the CA base tool suite of Service Desk and Clarity Project Portfolio Management, and looked at building on that as our base, and we didn't want to have to initially go out and replace everything that we had in our tool suite. We also looked at both the CA options plus Microsoft. We owned already System Center Client Manager, and so we knew that that could integrate seamlessly into the CA suite of asset management, which we also owned. And we looked at making those our standards and integrating those together. We did consider a few other vendors, and we're always open to the way that the tool suites will fit and serve our needs the most. But with being a state government, we had to leverage our existing price arrangements and existing tools and then look at the longer term. So we'll always be looking at what's the right option going forward, but those are the key components of the tool suite that we have today.
So these are all very interesting projects, yet vastly different based on the target recipient group. Could you select one and highlight any lessons learned that you're comfortable sharing?
For me, this is Suma again. The streamlining eligibility determination RTE is a big project that I'm personally very proud of. The reason is CBMS a few years ago was in the news for all the wrong reasons, right? They were Medicaid eligibility people that were turned away because the system was not robust enough to resolve all the challenges. So when you talk about turnaround and when you talk about a success story, I would say the CBMS, which is the Colorado Benefits Management System, and PEAK, which is the front end of that same rules engine, I would say is the greatest success story in my mind. And we were able to reduce processing times from 45 days to 45 minutes, as mentioned in my briefing just a few minutes ago. So how we did that was to, from a lessons learned perspective, we, along with our vendors, our stakeholders, all of us, we are all on the same page most of the time. And that's very important, right? Because these are, again, competing priorities, competing projects, things changing at a very rapid pace, the dependent systems, the downstream impacts, all of that. If we are not on the same page, there's no way the project is going to be successful. So we have an executive steering committee meeting where we get everybody in the room, and there's a dashboard. Again, it's very factual. For me, that's very important. Take the emotion out of the conversations. We all get together every 2 weeks as a leadership team, look at our priorities. Are we on the right track with the priorities? If there's things that we need to adjust and course correct along the way, we do that quite a bit. So for me, this truly is great minds all working together for doing what's the most important thing for our citizens and for the people that are the most in need. So we keep our egos aside because that's very important, and we work towards a common goal. And we have a very robust project management methodology in place with our vendors, and dashboards, metrics, all those things from a technology perspective, along with having a very connected leadership team that's not afraid to have some crucial conversations when things are not going the way they should.
And if I may, this is William again, I want to follow up or align with Suma's thoughts that we really look to the CBMS model as one of our huge successes. And so I would have said governance is the key, and the alignment with the vendors and everything Suma mentioned. We took those models and applied it into how we work the year ahead on the ecosystem and then how we manage the ecosystem today. So we really use that as our model for how we want to see operations and success in the future.
All right. Are there plans to roll out the Medicaid application to other human services programs in Colorado?
That's a good question, and there's a lot of human services that are already in place apart from the Medicaid. So we have food stamps from CDPHE and other agencies' perspective. So there's a number of Child Health Plan Plus. So it's not just Medicaid. That program is robust enough to handle other human services programs, and there's a lot that's going on already. And we can share with you all that in detail if you would like.
Excellent. Okay. Will you be using a single citizen login model? So a user would be able to pay taxes, renew licenses, etc. with a single ID?
Thank you for that question. That's, again, another program that's very close to my heart. It's not done yet, but we are in conversations with our agencies to have a Citizen Connect program where, again, the citizen is the center of this conversation, and we want to make sure that if I'm a resident of Colorado, I have one-stop shop to get all my government services. So those conversations are going on. We are just socializing the idea. We have a couple of vendors lined up to help us with a solution, and we just are working on the logistics right now, but that's a project that's very close to my heart. And having that unique ID, right, because there's like 3 different John Browns in the system, so how do you make sure that without going through a lot of conversations with the customer, but at the back end seamlessly resolve it to have that single identity, and big data platforms are able to help us to do that, and then help them with that one citizen portal where they can access, again, things like, if I'm getting married, I have the marriage license. If I'm going to buy a house next, it's very proactive. So we are absolutely looking at that model. It's just a matter of a few months before we get the actual funding and things like that. So it's an active project in my mind, and we are getting our agencies excited about it.
That sounds very exciting. I'm very excited for the folks in Colorado. Next question is, can you share the OneView dashboard?
Absolutely. I just love my OneView dashboards because it changed the conversations for us with our agencies, because before it was all anecdotal. We are not getting services. This changes the conversation, and it gives the IT team more power to have a more robust conversation. So some of the components on that OneView dashboards are what's the top 5 big projects for an agency? What are the top 5 upcoming changes from an incident management, change management perspective? What are the 5 incidents that happened maybe in the past 1 month that caused services to be disrupted? What are the financial implications of the big 5 projects, right? So it's a beautiful dashboard. It's very simple, and it's a great conversation starter with our agencies, and it totally transforms the way IT delivers its business. So we would be happy to give you a sample of a OneView dashboard.
All right. And last question that I've seen come through, any advice that you would like to give our audience they are embarking on this type of a project in their own environment.
William, do you want to take that on?
Sure, Suma. This is William again. I think what I would tell folks in either of these examples is understand that half of the task is process and really that alignment that Suma spoke about that was achieved so visibly in the CBMS, the benefits management system world, that really team alignment, getting the right group of people together and assigning owners to those areas, and then having the right governance structure in place to really know what the key outcomes and objectives are as you define your requirements clearly, look at the process changes, and then you can go look at tools, because I think technology enables, and we have to be able to understand what it is that we're really trying to do. If you don't have a good process, you won't have a good outcome.
Oh, we just had one more question come in. Internally, how did you overcome resistance to change, sell change to the organization, and ensure stakeholders were informed at each step of the change management process?
So change management is about people's feelings. Again, it's about people saying, I'm used to doing things a certain way, and you're trying to change their day-to-day life. There are some people that embrace change, and there are some people that are like completely resistant to it. So you need to get a lot of the people that love change on your side initially, and to help them be your advocates, right? From an informal way. Help them speak to those people constantly and be your champions of that change. But then there's a formal change management process also that you need to follow, right? There's tools and techniques and communication. For me, the biggest thing is communication. You need to bore your audience and your stakeholders to tears with your communication, because that's the only way it's going to be registered in people's minds that we are very serious about this change. We implemented a financial system just recently at the state, which was replacing a system which was 20 years old. So talk about change in that, right? People were used to like having their checklists, having their process done a certain way for 20 years, and we came in and had to replace it because the system was not holding up. So everything was changed, accounting templates, things that they were used to were just gone, and replaced with new stuff. So it's a lot of hard work. Change management is not easy. Again, it starts with the leadership team being very engaged and helping with the process, using the technology and tools and communication protocols all along the way, and sitting down and doing the hard work yourself, because if they don't understand how a certain thing is done, you need to have a working group help them with whatever it is that they're struggling with. In spite of that, you'll still have some people that don't believe in that, and you just need to deal with them in a separate way and not waste too much of your energy with that, maybe the 1 or 2%, but the rest of them will come around. And it starts with us being genuine and being very disciplined and being very structured about the change. Thank you.
Excellent. Yep, that concludes the questions that we were asked. Any parting comments you want to leave with the audience?
Again, thank you, Mary Lou. Thank you, CA, for this opportunity to reach out to all the people that we did on this call. You have been a great partner for us, and we truly appreciate everything you do for the state. And I'm proud to be a public servant. This is a very challenging position, but I'm proud to be a resident of Colorado, a citizen of Colorado, and now being a public servant. And it's truly exciting, all the things that we at the state of Colorado are doing. We are doing some cutting-edge technologies, and you get such a breadth of things that you get to work on. And I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to lead the state in the technology area. And I have an absolutely amazing team.
It's been amazing to watch the progress, Suma, under your leadership and your leadership team. So truly it's been fabulous to watch and to partner with you on. Thank you so much for your
Thank
service and for what you're doing. And thanks for today. This was great. Thanks for informing everyone on all the different projects you've got going on and sharing some of the best practices. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.